I am moving. And I'm going to talk more about that in a future video. In fact, I have already moved, and that's why I don't have a proper camera setup, mic setup, none of that. So that is why we are doing this format where I'm sitting here awkwardly, holding the mic as still as I can so that the audio will be consistent for you guys. Today I want to talk about summer, and specifically summer anxiety. And I thought of that because every year I'm filled with anxiety when we approach summer. The reason for my anxiety is that I live in Sweden. And if you live in Sweden or in the northern hemisphere, you might experience this as well, where we have just dealt with a long winter, 7 months of cold, of darkness. And so it feels like summer is like this 3-month window where we can actually be happy and enjoy our lives to the fullest. But that is where the anxiety comes in. There are a lot of expectations. There is a lot of guilt. If you are a homebody like me, you're going to feel pressure to do things every day, all the time. Because if you're not, you're going to feel like you're wasting your time, like you're wasting your life, like you're not making the most out of summer. And you might also be dealing with body insecurities. I know I have dealt with so much body insecurity in the past. I have shared this with you all. When I was younger, I hated my body. I was very thin, and people around me loved telling me that. And so in the summers, I would cover up a lot. I would wear multiple layers of pants when it was very hot outside. So summers, while fun, weren't very comfortable for me, because when you're hiding from the world, you're not really able to enjoy yourself. In fact, there is this weight on your shoulders where you can't fully relax, where you can't fully do the things that you want to do because you're not fully there. In the back of your mind, you're wondering if your shoulders are showing, if your tummy is out, if someone is staring at you or thinking of you in a certain way. So I have dealt with that. I don't deal with that to that extent anymore. I would say that 95% of the time today, if I see someone who has a great body, whatever that means to you, I will feel, wow, good for her. Now I feel even more pumped for my workout tomorrow. But there's still that 5% where it's like, I want to go and hide away and enjoy summer under a rock because I don't look like her. But with that being said, I'm very happy with the 95% that I've landed on now compared to when I was, say, 14 or 16. One thing that I would want to tell my younger self is that it's never worth hiding. It's never worth not enjoying yourself or having fun because you aren't fully satisfied with how you look. And you always care a lot more than anyone else ever cares. And honestly, hiding takes a lot more effort than simply loving yourself. So that is one aspect of the summer anxiety that I and so many other people experience. The other aspect is FOMO. I'm not someone who typically experiences FOMO. I very rarely will see someone do something and feel like, oh crap, I wish that I was doing that thing, or I wish that I was where that person is. But during summer, I do experience some sort of a FOMO. And the FOMO is not necessarily in comparing myself to others or how they're living their lives. The FOMO is more of how I expect things to go. So because there is this 3-month window, there's a lot of pressure to do all the things that I want to do, to see all the things that I want to see, to be my best, to look my best, to do my best. As an example, I love waking up early in the mornings in summer because it's amazingly beautiful and peaceful. But I also love staying up late because it gives me butterflies. I love late summer nights. The point being, I want to do it all. And therein lies the FOMO of time not being enough, or of me not making the right decisions. How do we know that we are spending our time wisely? How do we know that we are choosing the right things to do? How do we know that our priorities are in order? And so the way that I have figured this out in my attempt of having a normal, enjoyable summer, which ultimately is what I want, is that I've made 2 lists for myself. One list being, what are my expectations? What are my wants and my needs? Not what is going to look good on social media, not what is everyone else doing, what does everyone else enjoy and want to do. What am I craving at this very chapter of my life? And what I'm wanting and what I'm craving are the following. I want to continue being active. I have been very consistent with my workouts since the beginning of this year, and the more I do it, the more I want to do it, and the more different forms of workouts I want to incorporate. That's something that's making me feel so good, and I want to continue doing that. Another thing on my list of expectations and things that I want to do is that I want to spend as little time as possible in the city. I want to be out in nature. I want to be on the countryside. I've spent some time there lately, and at this very moment, I am not enjoying the city whatsoever, actually, which is kind of unlike me, but I just feel so good when I'm out in nature, by the water, by all the green, where it's calmer, where it's peaceful, and where it's just simply so beautifully stunning. A third thing is that I want to continue saying yes to more social things. I have gotten too good, I think, at saying no, and 9 out of 10 times when I say yes to an invite to go somewhere, I don't regret it. I actually feel really happy that I went. Even when, before I go, I kind of wish I had said no. And I think many of us can relate, where in the moment you kind of force yourself to go out of your comfort zone, and so you say yes to going. And then as this gathering or occasion gets closer and closer, you feel like, crap, why did I say yes to this thing? I should have said no, I want to stay home, I don't want to go. But also, almost every time that I go, I end up being so happy that I went. And next, what I've done is I've made a list of my limitations, because we want to be realistic. So a limitation can be something like you aren't fully confident in your body right now, and that's okay. A limitation might be that you don't have the financial means to go on all the travels that you wish you could go on, and that's where you are at right now, and that is okay. A limitation might be that you want to have fun and you want to go out, but you don't have that many friends, and that is the situation that you are currently in, and that's fine. So one of my limitations is that I currently don't have a home. I'm someone who loves routine and structure, and I don't have that right now. And that's very much me being very much out of my comfort zone, but that's fine. I'm going to have to find a way to be okay with that. All right, I hope you enjoyed this very rambly episode. It reminds me a lot of my podcast. It makes me miss my podcast. Hopefully, we will get the podcast back on track sometime soon. You're beautiful. You're awesome. Listen to your own needs, and you'll have a good summer. And with that being said, I'll see you next week. I'm not going anywhere. All right, bye.